right, it's time now for better food. New England is known for having outstanding clam chowder, but there's one restaurant that stands out from the rest.
Yes, it is the Clam Castle in Madison. It was recently awarded Best Clam Chowder in Connecticut from Connecticut Magazine.
Dave Donahue from the Clam Castle is here with a couple of clam chowder recipes. I didn't even realize, Dave, that there was Rhode Island clam chowder.
Yeah.
I thought there was Manhattan and New England.
There's Rhode Island, and Rhode Island is clear.
Yeah, and good for you, actually.
Yeah, because it's really just broth and then the clams, and it's not as decadent as the New England clam chowder.
Chicken soup of the sea, if you will.
Chicken soup of the sea, I love that. All right, so what were you going to be showing us how to do this today?
Yes, I am. It's a fairly complicated process, but not too. I mean, if you like to cook.
If you like to cook, what? Nothing's complicated.
Well, if nothing, we like to eat, and we can have it at your place, right?
That's right. So absolutely, come by. You know, first you prep all your ingredients. You chop your onions, celery, potatoes. Get them in small pieces.
You really diced them up nice.
Yeah, and then you have your chopped clams. Now, you can make your own clam broth if you'd like by boiling up some of the little neck clams and just boil them until they open, and then you separate the clams, and then you have your broth. But you can also go to the store and just pick up, you know, some clam juice, which is very easy. You could also ask your fishmonger for some chopped clams, diced clams. They should have the minced clams.
Okay.
All right.
That's a lot easier than...
So it smells delicious. Did you put bacon in there?
So we did put bacon in there. So,
wow.
So the key is start with rendering your bacon. Make sure it's nice and crisp. And then as soon as you see it's really crispy, you add your onions, and you go ahead and add your... well, actually, stir it around a little bit.
Stir it around a little bit.
Let those onions sweat just a touch. Okay. And then, once those are sweated down a little bit, go ahead and add your celery.
Okay.
And that will sweat for another 5 minutes or so.
Now, the reason why these vegetables are sweating is because they're busy working out, right?
Exactly. It's bench pressing.
Make sure.
And then after that, once those are cooked down for about 5 minutes, you go ahead and add your beautiful clam broth.
Yum.
So at this point, you have a little bit of time. What you're going to do is add your potatoes.
Okay.
And now we're almost at the finish of the Rhode Island.
Okay.
You have to make sure that your potatoes are cooked.
I was going to say, those were already cooked?
cooked.
Okay, because they would take a while.
Yeah, they'll take a while. So you're going to look at about 5 minutes and test them. You know, take them out and make sure they're cooked.
Okay.
And then once that has finished, you simply add your clams and add your herbs.
Okay. What are the classic herbs for a Rhode Island clam chowder?
Well, I use fresh parsley.
Okay.
And I also use fresh thyme.
Fresh thyme.
So, and then you just stir those up.
It's so interesting how everyone has their own version of a clam chowder,
Smells delicious.
So there's your Rhode Island.
That's it.
You know, what's wrong with a lot of clams? Now, if you wanted to go ahead and do New England, before you add the clams and the herbs, you have to add a roux to your broth. So,
and Kara was explaining to me what a roux was.
Well, a roux is simply butter and flour.
Butter and flour.
And you cook it up until it bubbles and smells like toast.
It's the base for a lot of sauces.
And then you simply add it right to your hot broth. Now, the broth has to be hot, and the roux has to be hot, and that way it'll do that chemical reaction of thickening up. See how it thickens up?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So once you have that nice and incorporated, and very important to incorporate the full roux. You see how it just immediately thickened up like that?
Yeah.
So once that's thick, you go ahead and, you know, it's almost too thick. You know, you can, it'll seem like it's too thick.
And then you add cream?
But then you add cream and half and half.
Whole cream? Oh, cream and half and half. What's your ratio?
So half and half. Okay, so 2 cups of cream, 2 cups of half and half.
Okay.
All right, and then
Pour
just
it all
pour
in
that
there.
in there, and then it creams right up. And again, incorporate it all fully.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Did you try?
I just tasted Rhode Island. It's so good.
So there's the Rhode Island. And the New England
I think a lot of people generally love the New England more because it's so rich, but for a daily soup, it's really still good with just the clear broth.
Truly is.
Oh my God, that is wonderful.
Isn't it so good?
Isn't that good?
And you don't have to
Yeah.
feel guilty. It's not a
Right.
Yeah, it's just delicious.
I didn't think it was going to be that great. It's awesome.
It's really
Thank
good.
you.
It's
Appreciate
really
that.
wonderful.
And we
Thank
can
you,
come
Scott.
see you. You've been around for that place is a landmark, right?
Yeah, it
65
really-
years?
65 years it's been there. We took over 6 years ago, and we're so happy we did. We gave it a nice facelift, and the place is great. It's really so much fun, and we've been getting a lot of accolades, and we're so grateful.
Did you try the New
I
England?
didn't try the New England yet.
All right, let's give the New England a try.
But you know what's so interesting? I didn't realize they were basically the same. Then you just add. So if you wanted to make something at home, you could make 2 versions pretty easily.
Sure, yep.
Oh, Dave, we
That's
have
really
a
good
winner.
too.
Winner.
Winner, clam dinner. That is delicious.
So they're both delicious. Thank you so much.
you.
Now
I
we see why
appreciate
you
it.
get all the awards.
Thank
all right,
you.
for more information and a look at the menu, you can visit clamcastle.com. And again, visit them. They're located right on the Boston Post Road in Madison.